and welcome to The Apprentice. You're fired. 6 tasks have been completed, 10 candidates have been fired and 10 remain in the battle to become Lord Sugar's business partner. As ever, with the help of unseen footage, we'll be throwing the dice to discover who's got the right moves to become Lord Sugar's winner. This week, the team had to devise a board game. And Daniel had the nearly impossible task of coming up with quiz questions. If only there was some experience in Daniel's life up to now, if only there was something in his background that might help him in this job.
I had to do all of the questions for this game and made sure it happened, and now we've got an end product.
Wow, Daniel, you really reached back far there, didn't you? Now, let's meet our panel, Apprentice fans one and all. Board game entrepreneur Rachel Lowe, broadcaster and Paralympian medalist Ade Adepitan, and comedian Tiff Stevenson. Welcome to You're Fired. Tonight's task of creating a new board game left one candidate's relationship with Lord Sugar at an end.
Pamela, you are the project manager here. This task failed simply because the product was no good and you had control of that product. On that basis, Pamela, you're fired.
Thank you very much.
Please welcome Pamela Udine. Pamela, you look delighted now. You look as if you're in good mood, but you weren't at that moment, were you? You were very disappointed.
I was gutted, but I saw it coming. You did see the board game.
Yeah, the board game isn't great. We will, at some length, go through that board game, I think. Yeah. But I mean, you must have thought either of these two people might go. It might not be me.
Oh, I thought it was Daniel that was going, simply because he does quiz nights for a living. That's what he does. He knows that's where his expertise are. So I thought I was out of, the bad zone, but obviously I wasn't.
OK. Pamela, you became team leader this week, but sadly you didn't play your cards right for Lord Sugar.
I'd like to give Pamela a go. I think based on we haven't seen you in a leadership position, it might be nice to see how we go.
My favourite idea would be the relationship board game.
The game itself seems pretty sexist to me.
It might come across as a bit sleazy.
I think a good team leader needs to know how to listen.
If somebody got this out at a party, I'd probably leave.
I definitely think we're going to go with the relationship, an executive decision that I have to make fast. I made the executive decisive decision to go with relationships.
There's no point going to a focus group if you completely ignore what they say.
I'm not sure that we would take any of it. It's a definite no.
I am absolutely livid.
The thoughts of these guys more or less match exactly what the market research had said.
Oh, wow.
Clearly, the product was not liked by retailers, was not liked by the focus group, and there's a big error there.
When Mark turned and said, I'd like to give Pamela a go, right? Oh, no, I purely mean within the context of the game, right? Were you not tempted to go, well, Mark, that's very sweet, but frankly, there's a time and a place. No, but what Mark said, I think Pamela should have a go. You're not tempted to go, well, interesting you say that, Mark, because I believe you should have a go.
In hindsight, I probably should have stepped up and said that, but I was just so excited by the task itself, and I think I was focused on getting the group back together as a team, more so the task in itself. So I was like, I can really build this team again, because we did fall apart in task 5. It was, you know. Yeah. And I didn't see kind of the task being the challenge. I was more like, yes, let's build a team here. Yeah, OK. Now, designing a board game is not a trivial thing.
No, it's got to be really exciting and have lots of engagement with the people playing it. So it's got to be interesting
And also, it's not exactly something that people have been doing for literally hundreds of years. Is there anything that hasn't been done in a board game at this stage? Is there any scope for originality left to this?
Absolutely. There's always scope for new ideas and new things, but I think you've got to really take on the market you're aiming at. So I think the focus group was really important in this task.
I mean, trying to find a board game that's going to fit for the whole family is always going to be extremely difficult. But Relationship Guru, I just think that was where you went wrong, you know, because relationships, it's a tough one. I mean, what happened to good old-fashioned games like Kaplunk or Monopoly or Strip Poker? I mean, those are the...
You're right. Family favourites.
Exactly. Good old-fashioned games.
For generations now, people have bonded over this.
Game of strip poker with your gran. Yeah.
Yes.
I think there was kind of that bit at the beginning where you went, as a concept, we need to be really careful. We need to tread carefully.
Yeah.
We need to be delicate with how we do this, because it's got to be funny but not offensive. And I guess there was a point during the show where someone went, look, this board game it's sexist, it's offensive, it's full of stereotypes. And I was like, are they talking about my stand-up? But it kind of... The problem is, I guess, is the subjectivity of it and the fact that it was coming from one angle. And that's always going to be a tough sell. You know?
Yeah, I mean, we can dance around as much as we want, but we really have to talk about the game itself. And if you want to talk about the game itself, you have to talk about the questions. The largest part of the game design fell to a team member who I think you probably trust the least.
Who wrote all these?
What do you like doing? Creative thinking is what separates me from everyone else in the world. Eating chocolate.
Women dislike which food the most? Pizza, carrots, chicken salad.
Have you not got any concerns about some of the questions being a little bit offensive? Telling women how much they dislike rock and classical music as opposed to pop music.
Men think women should iron, smile more, always be happy. This is inspired, really, isn't it? I mean, you couldn't make this up.
Yeah, you've not seen this since, have you? This is the actual box of the relationship guru. The thing that I raised, the initial question that it raises is a very straightforward one, which is he exposing himself to the two people here? Is that where he's going, hey, yeah, all right, I'm hanging around, my trousers are down, it's a very relaxed, I am the relationship guru, I know how these things work. Is that why they look as unhappy as they do?
You know what, I haven't got a clue. When I saw that, when it came back, I was mortified. I just thought it was absolutely atrocious. But then they all looked so happy with it. They were so pleased, and I felt so bad going, really? Are you happy with that?
Mark said that is, I think, is the greatest picture I've ever seen. He actually said this.
Deluded, very deluded.
Of all pictures, you know, Earth from space, you know, like a muscular man holding a baby. All my favourite images. This is it. This is the #1 picture of all time. There's so many of these. These are great. How many of these did you read?
I'd say I read about 2 of them.
A woman would choose what for a first date? Walk on the beach, spa treatment, a trip abroad. A trip abroad? How creepy is that? Oh, so nice. I'm so glad you could meet me. Did you bring your passport?
You know, maybe Daniel was talking from experience. Maybe, you know, maybe he has experience. That's how he rolls.
This is the worrying thing about his experience, right? Couples generally get itchy feet in their relationship after 6 months. 1 year, 3 years. 3 years is the one with the definite answer, right? Did you not feel like, Daniel, we really got to talk? Things that have occurred in your life.
You know, I think I was concentrating so much on bringing him back into the group. I was like, I really wanted to give him something that I clearly thought he would excel in, and that was my method behind it. And I thought, this is what he does, so of course he's going to be good at it.
The thing is, though, with relationships, wouldn't you have asked for a man and a woman to write the questions? You know, because it's between both people. You're getting both points of view, but you left it to Daniel.
This one's amazing. It says, what do women expect for an anniversary? A box of chocolates, taken to the cinema, or a star named after them?
Jesus, every year.
I mean, I'm going to offer another alternative, a divorce. Those are the kind of suggestions. I mean, the difference between a box of chocolates and a star named after you is quite vast, isn't it?
Yeah. This one's great. What do men find most cringy? Women who burp at the table, women who swear, or women who can't dance? And what is that all about women who can't... you can't dance?
All 3 of those.
Yeah. Man, but if you find a woman who does all 3, she's a keeper. That's a marrier right there. If she can dance and burp at the same time, that is... See her? I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
You're pulled.
What is the secret of a good game, then? What is the secret of a game that works?
A game that works has to be engaging, so when you're playing, you need the other players to be interested in what you're doing, and it needs to have a definitive end to it, so you know exactly what your aim is, because if it's boring, then you're going to get bored and not want to play. So, and a good game hasn't got to be complicated, it can be quite simple.
OK. Now, the major storyline of the series begins to emerge, possibly. There is a fundamental divide in the house. Are you Team Mark or are you Team Daniel?
I wouldn't personally go out in it. You wouldn't go in a public place with it. Pitch went absolutely outstanding.
We made fundamental errors. Daniel saying, I wouldn't wear this in a public place.
I said I wouldn't wear it in public place at night.
The exact sentence, and I wrote it down at the time.
Okay.
I would not wear this in a public place. He plays a good game, he moves all of the pieces, but I don't think he's going to have enough pieces to get around my board.
We've only got rid of 5. 5 at full price. It's really tough.
You didn't sell nothing.
I noticed people patting Mark on the shoulder there, not you, Daniel.
As soon as the blood is smelt a little bit, he turns on me straight away, giving me football analogies. Pathetic.
It's like the analogy in football when the manager loses the dressing room.
I know you like football analogies, Mark, but a good number 2 doesn't always make a good number 1, and you're yet to prove that.
Sure.
Started having a few personal blows at me, and I almost said to Lord Sugar, look, you got to fire me or him because I can't work with this geezer anymore.
I'm guessing that you're Team Mark in this?
I didn't take sides. I really tried my hardest to bring them both together, but I think I got caught in the crossfire with them. There was so much going on between them. They really did not kind of see eye to eye on anything. One said black, one said white, and it was just trying to bring them together as a team that I tried to invest in. But it just shouldn't have done that because they're just a hopeless cause, the both of them.
Really? Are you enjoying this as a clash?
Oh, I'm loving it. I actually feel for you because getting stuck in between 2 egos is quite difficult. But it's been interesting because I think Mark is actually quite sneaky. I think he's playing a long game. I think he's being really, really clever. But again, this week, another classic Mark metaphor, which was it's kind of hard to fly like an eagle when you're amongst a bunch of turkeys, and you go, it's the opposite, Mark. Because turkeys can't fly, mate. And you're the only one that can.
Yeah, so if anything, it's going to flatter you even more. You're going to look like an even better eagle because they're all turkeys, yeah. I equally the one, he's playing a game, moving his pieces around the board, but will he have enough pieces to go around my... Where's that going, Mark? Where's that? Surely you only need one piece to go around the board, you know?
And another one this week, when he was trying to pitch the game, he said, you don't have to be a rocket surgeon to play this.
Ade, are you enjoying this clash?
Yeah, I am. It's interesting. I kind of feel a little bit sorry for Daniel because I think in the early stages he got hit by a broadside from the team and the team sort of turned against him. And I think more than any other series I've seen in this one, once a team turns against you, once you lose them, it's all over. And I think his confidence is gone. He's been called deluded. He's been called, a fantasist. He must feel like he's on the ropes about to be knocked out.
But you see, he was. He genuinely thought he sold 2 tickets in Task 5. He didn't. Like, he didn't sell tickets. And he genuinely believed the things he was saying, which was quite concerning. I think it was his game plan, like, is to very much ostracise himself so he can work on his own. I do believe that, you know, he's tactically doing that. I do. I think, and he's doing it very well.
I actually felt sorry for you. I felt like you were set up at the beginning of this episode. Yeah. I very much felt like Mark went, I don't do board games, and I thought, no, you just bore people. That's what you do. But I did, because he kind of nudged... He was the first person to suggest the relationship idea of a game. And he also suggested that you put yourself forward, and then he kind of sort of... He's an amazing salesman. I mean, he really knows how to polish a turd. Yes. That's what we see. You know, he did sell it, but I do feel he set you up a little bit, so I feel for you a little bit there.
I mean, yeah, he did. But, you know, these things happen, and, you know, I don't regret it for the world. I had an amazing time.
When he nominated you, were you slightly disoriented by the fact he simply, a moment ago, said, I don't have a family, as if he had been sent like Superman from a distant planet? I merely emerged. I emerged from a meteor to live among you for this last while. Right, we Irish are a proud literary nation, particularly of the many new words we've given the English language over the years. However, there's one Irish word which you did use, which I really want them to use over here. It's a word that should be more popular here, and only we use it. It's a very Irish kind of soft curse word that we use. But you use it, and I think you should have even used it more. You should have used it as much as this. You should have let this country see this word in full flow.
Right now, I'm ironing a fecking image onto a bag, something that they should be doing, and they're not here to do it. I feel like we've PM'd this whole fecking task. We are absolutely fecking shattered. So just fecking come on and leave us know how much you sold and what you fecking sold them for.
Well, you sound
extremely negative. I'm not too sure why. 20
seats are sold, Pamela.
Fecking. Oh my God, they just sold 20 fecking tickets.
To be fair, we did add 1 or 2 or 3 or 7.
Just 1 or 2, yeah.
That particular list. OK, brace yourself, Pamela, as we're going to hear what Lord Sugar and your former colleagues have to say about you.
Pamela's failure was she didn't listen to others, and that brought about the failure of the task, because the product was wrong. And for a marketing person, she should have known much better.
It was her decision to have a relationship game. I think that she's responsible for it.
We ended up with a theme we didn't want and a concept that wasn't good enough.
To let Dan loose as a relationship guru, I think that's a bit of a questionable decision, in my opinion.
I hope Pamela has learned from this process. I sincerely wish her well, but this was an ideal task to prove you could bring a product to market, and Pamela didn't deliver, which is why she had to go.
Does that frustrate you?
Slightly, yeah, it does. I think as a marketeer, we all know that, yes, market research is key, but if we were to all listen to it, we wouldn't have any creative, products. And I think that's what I was trying to do. I was really trying to think outside the box. So it does frustrate me because I don't think it was the ideal task for me, and I don't think I got to shine as well as I could have.
OK. What was your business idea for Lord Sugar?
My business idea was a consultancy for people with dyslexia. So I'd go into schools and give workshops on dyslexia.
Are you going to carry on doing some of that work?
Definitely. I grew up in an education system that failed me. I didn't do so well in school, and I didn't get the help that I needed. So I'm very passionate. So I'm definitely going to take it forward.
OK, cool. Good for you. Did you go into the boardroom? You know those things in the boardroom? You have a slight stutter, I see, and I know it can be nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
You went into the boardroom with that?
I know, yeah. I know.
Well done you.
I think it's something that I've learned how to control over time. As a child, I didn't make too many friends because I could never talk to anybody. But I think with time, it's got easier, and I've trained myself to stammer less. But of course, I mean, to sit in front of Lord Sugar and to try and get something out, and you're there and you're thinking, is it going to come out? Is it going to come out the right way? So it's a bit nervous, yeah.
Okay, because honestly, from watching 6 episodes, I thought you couldn't shut up. They,
Thanks, Dara.
So well done. I think you handled that very well. Fantastic. OK. We'll go to the winning team. James, surprising to some, maybe, but James was a triumphant PM.
I understand that James' medical breakthrough has happened here. You've finally grown a pair.
I got out of bed this morning. Go. I thought it's time for me now to show I am serious. I want to give her exclusivity to NW3.
Exclusivity by postcode's quite like, I didn't think of that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
James came in with a good win there. Just take care as you walk out that door that your head gets through it.
Now, this is their game, which is Geo-No, or it took me 2 episodes to watch this. Do you know? That's one of this, do you know? Which I think is quite great. You've had a good look at this. How does this compare?
It's a great game because it's educational, simple to play, and the kids that played it seemed to like it, so, and the retailers liked it, so...
But this one passed muster for, like, a first attempt. That was quite good.
I thought that was good for the time they had to do it in.
Yeah.
The kids really seem to enjoy playing with it. They're engaged with it. My only worry is that it could be a bit xenophobic. Yeah. Like, you could, with the questions, you'd be like, I speak like this and I eat onions. That was an amazing French impression.
Because it started Spanish or Italian for me, and then went into France towards the end. And like James going, I'm an American. Is it America, James?
James seems to... he's very handsy when he talks. There's a lot of this going on. It's like he's trying to knock out socks at the market. How many do you want? 10 for a pound? I'll give you 10 for a pound. And I think the thing with James is, I think at the start, he's kind of like a puppy in that at the beginning it was cute, and now you're like, oh, he's shit all over the carpet again.
Did you work with him at any stage?
Never worked with James, which I'm probably thankful for. However, in the house, like, he was a lovely person, really got on with them, very upbeat, you know, could get annoying at times, but he was still really nice.
OK. Of course, Rachel, I mean, it's not easy to create a game, and you had a eureka moment, didn't you, when you created your game?
I did. I was a taxi driver, and I stopped at some traffic lights, and I thought, red light, miss a turn, and that's how I had the idea. So
Literally, you thought, I could turn this into a game.
I imagined my taxi being a playing piece on a board, and all the destinations I was travelling to being ones you find in a game, and created Destination London.
So you create, and so it became like a small map of London that you drive a taxi around.
Yeah, it did, and we've just launched the 10th anniversary edition.
It's like a modern Monopoly type thing, because you can then do it for different cities all over the world.
Yeah, we've done all the capital cities, regional games like Portsmouth, Southampton, licensed games, Harry Potter, Downton Abbey. But if you'd said to me 10 years ago I'd be, you know, have a company with, you know, nearly 30 editions, I couldn't have imagined any of that. So, but it is a tough industry, and I'm really proud of where we are now with it.
OK. Now, Bianca caught her attention last week when she told a group of potential tour customers that they were her last appointment and lost money because of it. This week, she gave away the kingdom for a measly 6 sales.
I'm Bianca. We can offer you exclusivity within your borough, so that obviously is a selling point for you, because you're going to be the only ones that have it around here.
Which borough were you giving exclusivity?
To Westminster. So the worst boroughs do that too.
Westminster contains the biggest concentration of retailers, I would say, in the whole of Europe.
I think you've made a sale. 6 at 16.
Amazing.
Brilliant.
That is silly business.
We can't use Westminster?
Oh, how come you've done that? Is she crazy?
You know what, you couldn't make this up. In board game terms, you have sold Mayfair and Park Lane for a £5.
Yeah.
Were you stunned when you saw that happening?
Yeah, I completely agree with Lord Sugar. I think she was probably gutted that she suggested that. It is, you know, you've got your Hamleys and your Harrods, and you're excluding all of those really major retailers for a box of 6. So I don't understand at all why she did that.
Is it a thing? Do people offer exclusivity? It happened a few times in this show.
It's actually a really, really good idea, and especially if you're launching a new product, if you give a store exclusivity. But you do that, like with Destination London, Hamleys had exclusivity, and we sold thousands of units within that one store, and then got nationwide publicity. But you don't give exclusivity for a box of 6. I didn't understand that at all. That
So if you're dealing, like, with the most famous toy shop in the world, maybe they get exclusivity, but Bob's Toys and Knickknacks doesn't get to own it for all of them. Like,
I want to go Bob's Toys and Knickknacks.
Oh, it's a treasure trove. They get everything before anyone else gets it. Bob demands exclusivity on everything.
And the last thing you want to do is make a mistake like that when you're in James's team. He was like, "You did what?" I mean, he went absolutely bonkers. And, but I think she's on the edge, though, isn't she, Bianca, after last week and then this week?
It's weird because she came across very, very well in the debate with James. She generally comes across very well, but just has made a couple of flaws, and you know, and this show that people tend to remember that stuff and turn it against.
It might be the pressure of the people that she's around, because it's a very pushy group, you know, and you can discombobulate you a little bit as well. And I think she felt that.
Yeah.
Good points in Scrabble, that.
Yes, excellent. Discombobulated me for a second there.
Should get that checked out.
Yeah.
Even though James does annoy me, I think he was within his rights to be annoyed at Bianca for that mistake, because that was a really annoying mistake.
OK. It's very easy for us to sit here and criticise the Candidates' decisions, but Tiff, as Mark would say, you not only talk the talk, but we've also made you walk the walk.
I'm the best pitcher in the business. I could sell sales to a salesperson. I could sell milk back to a cow. I could sell underpants back to a nudist. I'm going to buy a wrecking ball and smash this into next week. Online retailer, high-end supermarket, bloke from the pub. Hi, I'm Tiff Stevenson. They call me the pitch bitch. I put the itch in pitch. No, that sounds like I've got a yeast infection. This product is going to blow your mind holes wide open. Shh. I'm willing to put my balls on the line for this product. And trust me, my balls are massive. Let's cut to the chase. Let the monkey smell the biscuit. Are you in?
Now, and before the vote, you must find out what Felipe thought of his performance on this task. But to find out how Felipe thought Felipe did, you must always ask Felipe.
Felipe's board game idea is brilliant.
I do not believe that Felipe has any blame in this task.
I think that Felipe is a wonderful, brilliant salesman. That's Felipe.
I love that. I love it so much. It's just so consistently brilliant. And that end line, I love it so much. We've grabbed the end line because it's a Dean Martin thing. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie.
That's Felipe.
Maybe you can do that all day. Literally, I could spend the rest of my life doing that. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine.
That's Felipe.
By the end of the series, I'll have that as a ringtone. Okay. Felipe just comes across as a dote. Comes across as very sweet, but never been brought. Like people respect him for what he does, isn't it?
Felipe is a gentleman, an absolute gent. He always talks sense. He's not playing a game. What you see with him is what you get. I mean, he is a dote. I absolutely fell in love with him. He was just so kind.
OK. As for the vote in this, it was yourself, it was Daniel, it was Lauren as the last three. Of those three, there was a choice that was given. Do you think Lowe Sugar made the right decision?
On this task, yes.
Specifically on this type, but yes. OK. Ade, what do you think?
Yeah, on this task, definitely. I think you just got outmanoeuvred by Mark.
Yeah, sorry, Pamela, I really like you, but I have to agree, you stuck by the concept, and the concept wasn't great.
Yeah.
Sorry.
OK, well, let's throw it out to the audience. It's green for hired or red for fired. Did Lowe Sugar make the right decision?
Ooh.
Is fired, I'm afraid. Yeah. Pamela, it is sad to see you go, but we have a small gift that we want to give you. But you have to earn it. So here's the question. Women like which of the following the most? I mean, so this is based on a game I got called Relationship Guru, so this is correct, right? So women like which of the following the most? Bags, shoes, or a running vest? Literally the only three options, and you better pick the correct one. That's all I'm saying.
Is that really what it says on that card?
Is
That really
that
what's
is
on
literally
that
your
card?
game says women like which of the following the most? Bags, shoes, running vest.
Well, bags, obviously.
Well, obviously, yes, it is. That was actually what was missing.
Who wants a running vest?
I know. It's ridiculous. Say whatever. Bags. Well, look at you. Because I spent feckin' ages ironing this. That is yours to take as a memento of what we got here. Paula, congratulations on making it to Task 6. Here are your highlights.
3, 2, 1. I'm 23 years old and I know exactly who I am and I know exactly what I want to do. Something that's going to nip in at the waist. We need 2 pockets. The sleeves are going to be full length. We're not taking a stab in the dark here. We do know what we're doing. I'm not really concerned about hurting somebody's feelings. Short skirts on or short dresses on, it's not going to really matter. 2 bags, that's 50 kg. £7. Go on. Well done! I am passionate about whatever we come up with. Oh my God,
A really sweet girl.
She has a good heart.
She's great.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. Wow. I'd do it again.
Ladies and gentlemen, Pamela Udy. That's it for tonight's show. Thanks to all of my guests. Please go to our website at bbc.co.uk/apprentice, where you'll find some of the questions from the Relationship Guru. So have fun with that. Don't forget, you can also find us on Twitter and Facebook. Next week, the teams have to create a new soft drink for the American market, but who will discover that they're not to Lord Sugar's taste?
Hi! Nice smile, I love the hair, you look great.
I will work my nuts off like love water.
That's not a phallic symbol in the centre, is it?
Like how Katie's drawing it now. Splash.
What dog would you be?
Well, hi, I'm James, going for coffee.
What was that?
That's the most boring advert I've ever seen.
I thought it was like borderline tragic.
Bland, insipid, dull.
That'll be next Wednesday, and I'll be joined here after that by the entrepreneur Richard Reid, Lord Sugar's scary inquisitor Claude Littner, and comedian Catherine Ryan. We'll see you then. Good night.
Russell Howard's Good News over on BBC Three now, and brand new Good News here on BBC Two tomorrow night at 10. Newsnight is next, discussing the fake shake and the latest on today's comet landing next.